The first stop here north of Copenhagen is the Bøllemose. If you translate that into English, it's Thugs Swamp. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. And it is right next to Skodsborg, or if you translate that into English, it's Cigarette Butts Castle. Yeah, don't translate Danish names into English. Just know that this is definitely worth a stop. It is beautiful nature. It is simply one of the best places to stop. And yeah, who doesn't like beautiful nature on a rainy day? I will recommend that you come back when it is sunny and shiny. But it's also okay in a rainy day, because then you can see nature and you can see animals. You can see the frogs coming up to the surface of this very pond. But let's move on and see what else there is of interesting things along the northeastern shores of Zealand. We have moved a little further north. We have moved up to Rungsted. It is a harbour, yeah. It is the harbour where you can come to eat, you can come to see one of the biggest ships, many of the biggest ships actually, that you will find in Danish harbours. It is for boat watching. It is where we find the Royal Danish Yacht Club. It is where we find the great restaurants you want to be seen at. But in Rungsted we also find the Karen Blixen Museum. The Karen Blixen Museum, I will give you a more in-depth review later on, but here's a little taste of what you can experience there. The Karen Blixen Museum is of course devoted to Karen Blixen, this interesting person who grew up in Denmark, traveled in Africa, wrote stories on the height of Hans Christian Andersen. She was an interesting writer, an interesting person, and I urge you to visit the museum and see this interesting life that she lived. It might inspire you to live a more interesting life, if it's not already. And if you want a more in-depth review of the Karen Blixen Museum, make sure that you are subscribed and have clicked that bell notification icon so you get notified every time I upload a new video. We head further north along this beautiful route with the beautiful houses and the beautiful nature. There are two museums that you want to visit. It is the Nivogård Art Collection and it is the Louisiana. And those two museums are special in their own kind of way and requires an entire episode for themselves. So make sure you are subscribed and have clicked that bell notification icon so you get notified when those videos comes online. We reached Elsingor at the top of Zealand, but I have a lot to show you up here. But first of all, in Elsingor, what is it known for? Well, it is known for the ferries out there, which delivers way too many Swedish people over here, so you will hear a lot of people talking Swedish because they come over here to buy alcohol and to see the city. But let's see what is there to experience while you're here in Elsingor, and I promise you it is worth a stop. This one is also going to Sweden, so over there and picking some more Swedish people up and depositing some Danes. One of the absolute recommendations I come with is to walk along the harbour. Watch these beautiful old ships that are actually out there. That one is pretty new, but the others are pretty old, and I will warmly recommend that you just walk here, soak in the atmosphere, and if we walk a little bit around, then we will actually see something quite interesting. I have now turned the camera a bit around, because right behind me is the culture house. What goes on in there? Well, exhibits. It's as clear as that. And you know what to do if you want me to come with a recommendation or review of the area. But let's head on and see what else there is, because there's still some special things I want you to see here in Elsingor. So I'll be heading this way and come follow me. One of the must-stop places is right below me. It is the Old Drydock. It is where the Naval Museum is, and you know what to do. But yeah, it is definitely worth a visit. I warmly recommend that you give it a visit if you're in Elsingor. But there's something even more spectacular at play out here. So let's see if we can find that. And of course you shouldn't miss the Kronborg Castle, the most northern castle on sea land, the castle that has protected the Øresund Strait for many years during its height. The stories are immense for this museum, and you can experience the life, the legacy of Kronborg. And there's a fun thing, when I was in the Navy, when we sailed down along the shores there, they would lower the flag on the ship, and then you would see a soldier running from the guardhouse all the way out to the flagpole, lower the flag, raise the flag. It was called keeping the flag. It is the old naval tradition when a ship returns. I don't know if it's still relevant, but if you know, comment down below. But I will say this about the Kronborg Castle before I make an entire episode about it. It is definitely worth the price of the entrance fee. And with that in mind, I have one recommendation for you to watch this video next. I like that thumbnail, and I think you will like this video, so check it out right now.